Hey, what's going on? All right, let's do this. Today, going to be a little different. As you know, my camera is over here, therefore my screen is here. So that's why you don't see me looking this way all the time, because I'm normally reading the different websites or whatever that's on my screen. Interesting enough, my microphone is over here. So I know you don't see that all the time because if I put it here, then it's right in front of my screen. So anyway, just so you know why you don't see me looking directly into the camera when I'm talking or this way. But if I need to emphasize something, I will look into the camera. Therefore, I'm going to start off today and look into the camera because I want to get this out of the way. Um, recently, there's been a lot of talk, a lot of people that have become, these genius investigators on these online platforms. And as we know, that if you've been around for a while, you know that there's a few people out there in YouTube land that produce videos on their particular journey in this particular kind of genre or industry of crypto online investments. Now, yeah, I call it that. Call it CIP, crypto, COP, crypto online investments, or crypto investments online. So, however you want to put it. So, crypto investments online. And with that comes a whole nother level of risk, right? So the first thing that I think all of us, the ones that I actually watch that are legit, those that have some quality, we always remind people that yes, there is a high level of risk involved with any opportunity that you just see somebody talk about and then decide to jump in. Um, but if you don't follow the four rules, then you're really not going to be able to handle you know the ups and downs of this online space versus maybe the stock market. Oh my gosh, what people don't have any fear when the stock market drops. Oh my gosh, people are just okay with it. No, they're not. They're having the same panic attacks that people have on the crypto online space. So when you stretch it out, it doesn't matter. Whenever you have money and you put it into some type of investment, then you are really believing that if you put it into the hands of a broker, if you put it into the hands of a financial advisor, if you put it in the hands of an investment, company, insurance company that has financial investments, you're trusting them to do the best with your money and to get a good return. But then when the market drops, are they doing the best with your money, or are they just saying, "Oh well, you know what? You lost 50% today, so let's keep it moving." What do? You do nothing, right? But when it comes to online and you follow somebody in the online space, and let's say you follow, I mean, I can name numerous people out there that present their journey, present information about, new projects, right? And I watch most of them because I love to see what's new, what's going on, what's out there. It's kind of exciting to do that. But here's something that you're going to have to understand. There is a level of risk that comes along with looking at a YouTube video and deciding that you want to hope that it works. That's going to cause you a lot of ulcers. And so if and let me just hit the first three of there's about four or five that most onliners, YouTubers talk about. There's rules of the game, absolute unequivocal rules of the game. Okay. So if you don't understand them, then I'm going to repeat them. One, do your own research. DOYR, do your own research. That's the first. What does that mean? That means when a YouTuber comes on and they say, hey, look, here's a new project, here's a new program, here's a new platform, and it's day one, what do you want them to say? They have no evidence that it works or doesn't work. They may have some social proof because somebody else has made it work. But if it's day one, they're just giving you information. You can't sit there and go back 2 or 3 weeks later and say, "Oh my gosh," which I read these on many comments on many YouTubers. Believe me, we all get it, right? I've had people threaten me numerous times. If it's the day one and you get into a program because you felt like that's what you wanted to do, then guess what? 3 weeks from then, let's say it doesn't work. Let's say it falls apart. or who, I mean, what? So now you come back and say, oh my gosh, this guy scammed me and this guy made me jump into this program. And, I don't know why I listened to this. And oh my gosh, on Facebook, right? There's a prominent guy that's been doing this for a while. He does YouTube videos as well. So I'm not just talking about YouTubers, but anybody in this space that actually wants to show people that there's an alternative way, if you do it right, that you can earn some additional income. Not saying that you're going to always win, because that's what risks are, right? We know that sports is a big deal. People are running. People are, I love track and field. And so let me give you an analogy in track and field. You have people that today, like they in college, and they're crushing everybody, right? The 100 meters, the 200 meters, the 400 meters, they're running faster than some of the professionals out there, right? But when you look at their record, do they win them all? Absolutely not. I mean, there's so many examples I can give you, but I'm not, because I'll be talking about track and field all day. But there's so many examples I can give you on that, right? And so we talk about the first thing when you go to online, but I'm just giving you an example that you have people at the top of their game that have all of the mechanics to win every single time, the fastest, the hardest working, the running, the posture, everything, the strength, they have all that, but they never win every single race. You understand this? So somebody online, you can watch somebody and say, wow, you know what? I've invested because they said this was a good one. I've won. I've gotten some good profits out of this. And then you see another one and you jump in that one and you get some good profits out of that. And then the third one crash and burn in 3 days. And you're like, oh my gosh, I knew this guy was trying to take my money. No, it's an invitation where somebody has to provide a way into the program. So if you want to go to website, CIP.com and jump in there, then that's totally up to you. But it's not going to allow you to get in because you have to have an invitation code, right? So it's not a matter of everybody sitting around saying, okay, if I can just, put a link out there and everybody joins, then, hey, I'll just make money while the company does whatever they do, and I don't have to even do anything with the company. No, it's not like that. So I'm just going down the line saying, look, come on, guys, just really think about what you're doing before you make that decision to jump into a platform, program, or project. It is up to you to do your own research. It's up to you to say, I hear what you're saying, Mr. YouTuber, Miss YouTuber. That's cool. I like what I hear, but you know what? Before I put my $50 in there, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to research it. Now, here's something about that do your own research piece. That's one of 3 that I'm going to talk about. When somebody comes online, and here's the difference. I'm going to tell you, this is absolute difference in everything that we do. When somebody comes online and they're on YouTube or they have their own, video spot that you want to look at, even Facebook, if they talk to you and never show you the platform, never show you the website, never show you references to links that you can do your own research, where you can go look where they look, if they do not provide you a way to go look at something that is a part of that particular, platform or project, then that's a different feeling. Now, I'm not going to say that they're doing anything on purpose to trick you, but what I'm telling you is, if somebody is talking to you and they never give you references, they never show a website, they never show some links that you can do it yourself, then that's a problem, right? Because now you are listening to that person, you're taking their word for it, and then you're moving on their word. You're not moving on examples. You're not moving on actual information. You're just doing it because that person said so. That is absolutely wrong. That is absolutely not the way to do it. And that makes us that are trying to do the best we can do to provide enough information for you to make a good decision. That gives us a bad name. It makes us look really bad, right? So definitely don't want to associate with that type of, um, information delivery, because that is you just taking that person's word for it. And that's not what this is all about. Okay. We want you to do your own research. Why? Because we are not the experts in a system that we didn't create. We are only providing the information, and we get really good at showing this is what I did. This is my journey. This is how I create more wealth in this space. And this is probably some lessons learned because this one didn't work or this one did work. This is what happens in this particular online space. When we like crypto and we like online, then we want to tell people that there are some possibilities out there. You're never going to get 100% right. You're never going to get it, 100% wins. It's going to happen. Number two, rules of the game. Number two, don't over leverage yourself. Um, you hear this all the time. I have some great partners out there that will remind you, do not over leverage yourself. Do not put funds into an online opportunity without doing, number one, doing your research. Two, when you don't have that, don't go out and find the money from somebody, right? Borrow, steal, pinch it, whatever. And don't take it out of the these are my expenses that I can live from day to day. This is where I get my food from. This is how I pay my bills. That box you don't open up to do an online thing that's going to pay you 5% a day, because it's not sustainable. It's not going to happen. You will fail. That's just the way it is. Now, in that same light, we know, because we've been doing this for a long time, that every opportunity that you see online that you can't physically sit down and talk to somebody, that you can't really understand what the background is, that you don't have the ability to dig in, they have a lifespan. Let me repeat that. They have a lifespan. They will come, that's their birth date, and they will go. That is very true. That is going to happen. Therefore, like my man Crypto Muscle says, do not fall in love with the platform. It is not a wise thing to do, because it will crush you. And then you become emotional about your investments. If you ever understand Forex, if you've ever been trained, or if you've ever been taught how to trade on the Forex market, or any market, tell you the truth, but Forex and crypto is pretty much the same when it comes to the sentiment. You have to be very careful and keep your emotions in check, because you will go down a rabbit hole and you will lose everything. All right. So anyway, do not over leverage yourself. Don't put money in there that you're not willing to let go of. And what I say is, do not get into an online space investment if you're not able to stomach this particular genre, this industry, this environment. Because, and I say stomach because you will have stomach aches. You will be in pain because your level of stress will be overwhelming when you go into a space and things don't work out as you want them to work out, because you didn't do, number one, do your own research so that you know that if it works, great. If it doesn't, you know what? Maybe I didn't do enough research. Maybe I just didn't get to the point where I was comfortable and I dove in prematurely. What is number three? So in this space, we have do your own research, right? You got to do your due diligence on this stuff. You have, don't over leverage yourself, right? And understand that there is a timeline on all these platforms. Now, I'm going to get straight to this one project that's been really, pushing people to the brink in the last couple of weeks. This one's called Fidelity Coin Hub. Now, with that particular program, we found that there were some things that made sense. The information, no matter how false it was presented, information was, most of it was correct. But what the platform, what the writers of that did, right? Because we don't know who it is. We just know that there's a platform out there that's moving. What the writers did, they took it upon themselves to pull information from different sources that were high level sources, right? Fidelity and some other ones. And they took that information and they aggregated that onto a massive marketing scale. And they took that and they created videos. They created a few videos. They created Telegram groups. They created so many different ways to get you to believe in all of the information that was connecting from different sources. Now, some of the information is true, some of it's not. So what we call putting poison in the honey, right? So that is what happened. Now, I want to come on and talk about this because I pulled a lot of information together that was on the internet, and I connected a lot of the different sources together in order to present that as, hey, look, guys, I know that we had a good run with COTPS. I know we had some run with SwapNext, and those seem to be, very similar platforms Therefore, let's go for it with this one, but let's do it differently because we have some background information. And so me and a partner, we took it upon ourselves to go ahead and present that in a very public forum. That's something we've never done before. And so that's why I'm coming back right now to talk a little bit about that, because I did, put a face on it right at the beginning, and a lot of people responded because of that information. Here's the really short version, because I don't need to go on and on about it. In this particular platform, the Fidelity Coin Hub situation, there are many people out there that did research, and which we always do. Mine was based upon what I saw and found. It made sense in what was going on. There's never 100%. Let me tell you straight up front, my risk tolerance is very high, so I'm not bothered by losing today and winning tomorrow. Some people, I tell you, don't put all your money in there because you don't know. We don't know. We just know that this is what I have. And if I get to 70% of, green flags and maybe 10% red flags and maybe, 15% orange flags, so to speak, then I'm like, okay, you know what? I don't know enough right now, but if I don't get in, then I may not get in enough time to earn enough to get my principal out and then work on house money. Right. So strategies are there because we've been doing this for a long time. A lot of people get anxious and say, well, how can I make X amount where I can reinvest? And they'll put a whole lot in up front and then not be able to have a valid strategy in order to go long term with house money. And so that becomes a problem for a lot of people. And that's when they can't stomach, when things go south. So that's why you have to have a conversation. I always put my Telegram link in there. I tell people to contact me. Let's have a conversation because I don't want you losing your shirt. So here's, a little bit about what I want you to know about this Coin Hub situation. It was uncovered that there are so many layers to this particular marketing, whole marketing scheme, right? They put a lot of effort into this thing. And there's two parts to this. One, when you peel back the onion and you have some holes in the research and some holes in the background and the connections of a Fidelity proper and a Coin Hub and a Drive Wealth and so on and so forth, right? Attached to this hub, I look at it in two different, lens. You have one that is the background and the setup, and then you have two, the actual crypto investment application. Those are two separate things. Okay. And like I said, Crypto Muscle said it best. He straight up said, this is, there are so many platforms out there today, that have done exactly what people are complaining about with this one. And so I'm going to tell you this. When you look at the platform, right, then there's a couple of things that you can take from this. All right. So I'm just gonna let you know, right, real quick, what I'm getting at here. When you look at the platform and you go through the app, and there is no problem when you go to the Telegram chat. If you have an issue, you can get it cleared up. People help you out, whatever, and you keep it moving. So here's what's interesting about it. You have the background story, which we don't know. We don't, really know how they really came up with all of that, right? But they really came up with a really good story to support this app. And so Crypto Muscle said it in his numerous videos. He says, this is exactly the same as every other, online investment platform that's talked about online, right? You have actual ones that may have the bones of a real company, kind of like the IPC or Novatech or the Cash FX. Those are, Pariba. Yes, those are companies legitimate. They have everything in place. That's a different space. We're talking about these that come online and there are short-term opportunities. These are not your long-term opportunities. These are short-term opportunities. If you want to get involved, then you have to know that these are not in the same brain and the same vein as those offline opportunities. Those are actual, real put together with CEOs and all that good stuff. So those are separate. So I'm not comparing an online, short-term investment with some actual legitimate businesses that can go out of business just like anything else. But I'm just saying those are different, right? So don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to compare those. But what I do want you to understand with the Corn Hub thing is that Fidelity that name was used in order to attract people. That name was used, right, in inappropriately to attract people. That's all. Okay. So when we did more research now, and let me just give you this. There are groups out there that did abundant research that really showed all of the discrepancies, and then they took it further and made contacts around the world, and they made actual statements, and they did a report, very comprehensive report, and it showed that those companies, some of them were even out of business. The names of the CEO and the connections with this company or that company, not legit, didn't exist. Okay, so now that you know the backstory is just a novel of fiction and truth, because some of it's true, some of it's false, right? Now that you know that, then just like I said, when you have my man over here that's telling you it's no different from every other platform, think about it. You can go back to, and the perfect example was Atiora, right? When he talked about Atiora been around for 9 months plus. How many of you did any research on Atiora? How many of you dug into the background on Atiora or Meta's finance or Exilus, right? Who else was Miralex? Come on, people. How many of you that watch this video, how many of you invested in Tekra, Birex, Miralex and Watermine? How many of you did? But how many of you that put your money into those platforms are now being bent out of shape about this Corn Hub platform? Because there's no difference. It's no difference. They are the same. They put out a backstory. The only difference that, no, it's no different. Corn Hub has a very nice website. They put information on the website. Very attractive. They did all that. Guess what? Atiora did that. Meta Finance did that. Exilus did that. Exilus actually said, "Hey, we're going to have a live event in Hong Kong," right? On their Telegram group. We're going to do this big deal. Guess what? Within about 2 days of posting that, they shut down, took off. Why? Because that is the game, right? So there is no mystery about the game. We understand the game. We're not telling anybody to put their money into a platform. Nobody's telling you to do that. What we're saying is, here's some information that you can use. Now go do your own research, and then you determine if that's what you want to do. Because guess what? I'm not coming on here and just talking to you and you say, "Oh, since Rashid said this and I don't see a platform, I don't see no research, I don't see no background, I'm going to do it because he said do it." Nobody does that. Nobody that has a right mind on YouTube or whatever platform, Facebook platform, nobody says do it because I said so. So why do people try to blame you when they don't get the results they want? Because they have to find somebody to blame instead of them taking responsibility. That's why, right? So here's what's interesting about it. This platform works. Okay. So here's what I want you to get from this conversation right now, because I'm not going to keep going on and on and on. But I really wanted to have this conversation because I did present myself as, "Hey, I did this research. Looks like a great platform. We're going to move forward." And that's what we did. I had numerous meetings after that. I had a lot of Zoom calls. I met a lot of people I've never met across the globe. And I said, "Great. You know what? I don't want to be the person that creates a false narrative, because that's not what I'm here to do." Right? I come on, I have a brand, and I feel that I'm being open, honest. I'm telling you, this is how we got to this point. That's what I do. And I don't do it because I'm trying to, be shisty. I'm not trying to, bring you bad information. I'm definitely not trying. I don't need to take your money. I can shut down every platform right now and my life will be awesome. Awesome. because one, I don't have a headache of dealing with people coming to me every 5 seconds because something is not working properly. And 90% of the time, the person didn't do something on their end because there's a little trick here or there and whatever. And so we spend time going through all of this stress and strain about the company is not legit. They're going to scam. They're going to run off with my money. And then they find out that they don't know how to connect their DApp to the wallet and they've done it wrong. I'm telling you, these are things that happen all day long, right? So the platforms work, but they have a lifespan. And so don't fall in love with the platform. I'm telling you, listen to Crypto Muscle's video about Coin Hub. He did too. He was very clear. You know, a lot of people listen to Crypto Muscle, and that's why I reference him, because he has put it already out there. He put it out. You may not listen to me. You may not care what I say. That's fine. That's good. You know, but listen to him because he has a lot more years in the game. He does this every day. I do not, right? I do not. And so when I listen to him, right, me and him talk offline all the time. So we understand, we bounce ideas off of each other. We really, really, I feel that, you know, we can talk about these things and then figure out, okay, is this a good one to go forward with? If it's not, he chooses what he chooses. I choose what I choose. Sometimes we do it together. So I'm referencing Crypto Muscle for one reason only in this context. We started with this together and we found out some things that were a little off, but we both agreed that there's no difference in the Altiora, Amita Finance, MetaFee yielders. And I know people are still sitting around waiting for MetaFee to come back. I mean, yeah, right. That's amazing. I don't even want to get into stuff like that because, hey, when the platform go, it's go. When it's gone, it's gone. That's it. If it surprises you and shows back up, well, maybe it'll surprise you and give you your money back. That's when it's real. But if it surprises you that it showed back up and it asks for more money, no, it's gone, right? So you sitting there waiting for it to show back up. That's not going to make it show back up. You praising the people on the platform, it doesn't make it better. They have a lifespan. They're going to go for a while and then they're going to jet, right? So you don't get emotional about it. So when I talk about Coin Hub is a decentralized application that utilizes gamification in order to help people profit up to 1.8% a day and sometimes up to 2.6%, depending on what you're doing on the platform. That's what this is. This is not Fidelity. This is not an argument on if it's real or not. This is not an argument about, you know, I went to the Coin Hub website and it said that this Robert Cartwright guy was the CEO. Guess what? I can go back and tell you, I did research on Altiora. And I said, man, it's going to go any day now because Altiora was like Burex 2.0, Miralex 2.0, Tekra 2.0. I'm going to tell you, you know, we can go to Futures Trade if you want to go there. Futures Trade was a horrible experience. You know why? Because there was blatant disregard for anybody and any humanity with the way that person that we call Dylan handled the situation. It was horrible, right? A lot of people were affected by that. Then on the heels of that, you had a couple of other ones. And like I said, we got COT. I'm not going to go into all these different ones, but I'm just trying to give you examples that I'm not sitting here just talking about it. I'm in the trenches on these, right? But I need you to understand if you were in Watermine and you had a problem with the platform, you had a problem with the, whoever was behind it. Did you do your research? Did you jump in down when you found out that none of those things were available to you? None of those things connected, but you had people doing actual webinars on a Watermine platform. They didn't even know who was running it. But somebody throws out the word Fidelity and all of a sudden it's an uproar. But I'm going to tell you this and I'm going to shut it down because I don't want to keep going on and on about it. At the end of the day, here's the summary. Yes, I had some key people out there in the industry that sent me information on an actual investigation on this particular one. The investigation showed that all that information is definitely not supporting the actual app. Coin Hub and Fidelity, two separate issues here. So let's throw Fidelity out the window when it comes to this particular platform. Let's just remove it. When you remove the name Fidelity, and you look at the platform, and it is a gamification platform that utilizes, right, parts of decentralized finance, gamification, and it uses a decentralized application. It uses USDT. You go through your MetaMask, you go through your Trust wallet, you go through Coinbase wallet, and you access the information. It has an actual FUB token that they're launching as well. So they have a very comprehensive plan. If it was not labeled as a Fidelity connection, then you would focus on CoinHub has come out with a really good new platform that's very similar to a COTPS, but it actually has taken it to another level. Do they have actual arbitrage trading behind it? I don't know. Let me ask you this, people that invested with COTPS and made hundreds of thousands of dollars in a very short period of time. Let me ask you this question. When you were investing in COTPS, when you looked at their information and it had this claim, the only claim in there that would move you is the claim that they had a license between Colorado and Canada. That's the only thing that was in there that captivated you. But they had the technology written up very well, right? So that information was there. But did you have a conversation with the CEO? You looked at the video in the COTPS, and that video was fake. We already know that. There was nobody on their site that was real. So what's the difference in that one and people praising it because they're making so much money in it? Short-term platform. What's the difference? That one, nobody complained because they were making money. Now, when it shut down, then people, SwapNext popped up. I was a big proponent of SwapNext because I felt maybe it's real. Maybe they're doing the right thing. And then at the end of SwapNext run, what happened? They said, oh, we were utilizing COTPS traders on the arbitrage trading platform. That's how when they went down, we went down because they couldn't pay. Interesting, isn't it? But people were not complaining because they were making money on that platform. They didn't care if it had a name, no name. It didn't matter. This is exactly the same thing. It's an app. You enter the decentralized app, the DApp browser. You put the information in there. You access this particular app. Everything else is immaterial. Get over it. Get past it. Get beyond it. Your money is not lost. This platform is working, and you can actually compare it to others that are similar because you don't have any of the background like a legitimate business like the ones I mentioned earlier. This is something that, like I said, when Crypto Muscle explained it, I was like, he hit it the nail on the head. 100%. This is no different. This is a app. You follow the instructions. You can get in. You can make some money. Got a short-term play. You keep it moving. If you want to reinvest, that's totally up to you. I don't recommend it, but you can do that if you want. But it is just as simple and forward as any other platform out there in the crypto space that we have seen. The only difference is people got in an uproar and they wanted to do research because it said Fidelity, and they went out and found that all those things did not connect. Some of the businesses weren't even, they were out of business. There were some that was found to be using even CoinHub. There's probably 50 CoinHub businesses. Some of them are in business, some of them are actually out of business. Some of them, don't even exist anymore, but there are some that do, and they have similar trading and crypto and AI and quantum computing. They have similar things. So that's how that information became popular, is because they utilized that in order to present their platform. Here's what my summary is on this. And yes, I'm absolutely going to close it out. My summary on this is when the platform was an idea, there was probably some really what is the word for it? People that just, creative minds, right? They saw what was happening. Maybe they are the same people that did COTPS. Maybe they're the same people that did SwapNext. Maybe they're the same people that did BNB Trust. There's a few others out there that are similar. I don't know, right? Because we don't know. But don't forget that if you're looking at this, you probably invested in COTPS. You probably made a lot of money with COTPS. And now somebody says, oh my gosh, Fidelity is not really part of this. You're like, oh my gosh, now, oh, it's horrible. No, the platform itself is doing exactly what some of the other platforms were doing. And it is a similar project as to any other online platform that we've come across. It's just doing it in a, to me, it's gamification because of the way it looks and the things you have to do. You have a little interaction in there, and it's kind of a gamey thing. So that's why I call it that. You don't have to call it that. Nobody else has to. I call it that because it's not a legitimate, long-term, extensive, supported by, major icons in the industry in the financial or technical markets. No, it's not supported by that. What it is supported by is actual technology, advanced blockchain, AI, and gamification, which is in the decentralized application forum. They have a very unique and advanced system, and it's working. If you want to be part of it, that's your choice. Number one, do your own research. You get to a level of comfort, put a minimal amount in, and try it out. That's all you can do if you so desire. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not your investment advisor. I am not clairvoyant. I can't go back and say all that research I did and everything I presented at the Zoom, I can't go back and turn it off. I can't twist it. I can't, spin it. All I can tell you is that's what I knew at the time. Today, I've gotten reports, I've gotten feedback, I've done a little more research as well, and I've separated the two, right? And so if you want to really get, a straightforward, kind of answer on this, then look at, Crypto Muscle has done a couple of these videos. He has explained it, I think, very well, that this is really similar to whatever else is out there. So get over it, move past, your emotion and keep it moving. Now, before I just shut it off, I listened to some really smart people that I think, did a lot of research. And at the end of the conversation, here's what the people that were running this report, they found all these discrepancies, right? Here's what they said right at the end. He says, I'm actually withdrawing money every day from this platform. He didn't say I'm shutting it down. He didn't say I'm giving up. He didn't say I'm throwing in the towel. He said, he didn't say I'm going to go over here and I'm going to make sure they're shut down. You know what he said? I just make sure people protect your investment. He says, pull your money out. And then there was a lady as well. They said, just pull your money out every day. Pull your profits out every day. They didn't say, oh my gosh, get away from this. It's going to ruin your life. No, they didn't panic. They just said, we have the information. We've proven that some of these things are definitely discrepancies and it's not attached to Fidelity. Okay. Yeah, there's another YouTube guy that I'm not going to name because I don't want to get into this whole crazy thing. But he got 5 minutes of fame from COTPS, and now he becomes the authority on what's good and what's bad. Nobody knows how long a platform is going to last. If it goes today and somebody says, oh man, you know what, that's not going to work. And, I was the first to tell you that you shouldn't have got in that. The platform doesn't fail because one person decided they didn't want to do it. And they have an agenda to make sure they don't lose any market share or their followers. So they make it look like they were first to say, don't do it. And then they present an email from a customer service agent that has no idea what the merger, what any level of collaboration is with entities in her organization. So none of that's relevant to the bigger picture of the platform works. People that did the investigation and came back and said, oh, that stuff right there, no, it's not. There's no major players behind this. But then they said, hey guys, make sure you pull your money out every day. So what's the difference with COTPS, SwapNext, MetaFi, all of them, right? There is no difference. You choose what you want to do. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not your investment advisor. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to say that I put money into it based on my research. Some of that research, just like any other time, didn't add up. Green flags, red flags, orange flags. Now I got checkered flags and I'm keeping it moving. So that's my choice. That's what I do. I have people, like I said, on my team that are adamant about just running away. That's your choice. There are people on my team that's like, hey, let's keep it moving because it's no different from anything else. We're going to make, some money with this platform. If it lasts as long as COTPS did, then guess what? The people that stayed away, they're going to be back scratching their head like, which part of the information did you focus on? Did you focus on the background information or did you focus on the everyday crypto online investment platforms that we tell you is high risk, that we tell you has a lifespan, and you decide if you want to get in, you make some money. If you don't want to get in, you watch others make money. It's totally up to you. Nobody's twisting your arm. Nobody's making you do anything. So anyway, there's so many levels to this. And so I really got to cut this off because it's going way too long. If you are in this space, right, this is my sincere information delivery, because it's not advice, just information. Make sure you divide your portfolio up into low risk, medium, high risk. And then you can go high risk if you so desire, because if you make some money and you have some risk capital, then you can try things out. I try things out before I present them because I want to show that I've tried it. I put my own skin in the game and then I present it. That's how I do business. If you decide that you want to get involved after something like that, then it's totally up to you. Okay. So remember that, right? You got to do your own research. Make sure you decide how you want to roll with it and check things out. Always, when you listen to a YouTuber or a Facebooker, if they're showing you actual links to where you can look up information, then that's the one you want to check out before you sign up. Okay. No matter how much you work with them and all that, make sure you look at some of the information, check it out first. Then, right, don't over leverage yourself. Only put in a little bit, check it out, and then get the feel of it. And then, so if you get frustrated, at least you're not feeling frustrated because of the funds you might lose or you might win. You're frustrated because you just haven't learned how the platform goes. And this platform had an update last week. And oh my goodness, that was the hardest thing to deal with because it was so early and we just happened to get in at a time that there was an update going on. Whenever a platform says they're doing an update, we all know that that's a sign that things are about to go south. Well, guess what? We got through the update. Everybody's happy. We're still making money. So that to me tells me that these guys put together a platform. They're doing what they said they would do. It's been around for a couple of months and it's still going. So I don't have a problem with where we're at with this one because I believe that there really are, really creative people that put together the actual app and the gamification piece of it and the profit of it. And the decentralized application is really, really the way to go. And you just have to be careful in how you deal with that. If you have MetaMask, you really want to be careful more so than the others. I would recommend using Coinbase Wallet app. But at the end of the day, to follow up with the information I want to make sure you leave with is when you follow the rules, right? At least do your own research. Don't put too much money in up front. When you are comfortable enough to put more money in, then you do that so you could earn how much you want to earn based upon the ROI and so on and so forth. The other thing is low, medium, high, right? So make sure your portfolio has some steady income, steady crypto, revenue. You got to be earning in order to play in the big field. So you got to be able to take some of those moderate ones. Like I said, I can go back to the ones I mentioned. You talk like a Novatech, like a IPC. Well, IPC is gone, but anyway, it was okay when it was there. I never was involved in these, just so you guys know. I'm not pitching them because I wasn't in them. I'm not in them now. They're just not what I want to do. But if you're in it, great. That's cool. You making money. It's working for you. I'm good with that. But you had, all these other platforms out there that are relatively, low to medium risk. Those you want to have because they may last a while, right? 0.5% a day and, trading and some residuals and all that kind of stuff, some bonuses. Then those are the low risk kind you want. The DHF, right? DHF, they may not pay a lot, but they're going to be consistent. DHF been around for a long time and it's just continue to keep cranking out crypto. It's a great platform to stick with. It's something that runs in the background that you can always pull a little bit out to play with some of these other ones. Then that level of stress is reduced because you're not putting your, all into those and hoping that this is the big one. There's no big one, just so you know. COTPS was kind of an anomaly. MetaFee, you just got to play the game. It's still up in the air what is going to happen, what it's going to do. Hey, as soon as the 4.2% came out, I was done because saw it before. I knew where it was going with that. They just happened to be in the midst of probably finding a way to cut it short. And then the crash of the market happened and it gave them a reason to go ahead and exit stage left. That's really it, right? So they just happened to get an excuse that was a legitimate worldwide excuse. That's all. And that's why people are still hanging on thinking it's going to work. No, move on. CoinHub has created something that will help you get over some of those losses. That's my opinion. That's the way I see it. that is a great way to move on. And it's, low. This is, to me, is kind of a low risk when it comes to investment side, but there is a high risk because just like COTPS, we don't know really who's behind it. We don't know what's going to happen next. There's many Telegram groups and channels out there. Some of them are good, some of them are not so good. Yeah, that can cause you some headache in itself. So definitely low, medium, high. Don't ever be without that in your portfolio. Make sure that you have some that just run in the background that do you really good and they are consistent. You got to have that. Some of them may not pay on time. They may take a long time to pay. They may be, changing things and all that. Oh my gosh, I know how it goes. But stay the course, because over time, right? Over time, you'll see that you have money that's building up, building up. 0.5% a day, 0.7% a day, 0.3% a day, 3% a week. You're like, that's not, that ain't nothing. In short term, it's not, but it builds up over time. And at least you have those low into medium risk portfolio platforms that will give you what you need when something like this comes. And you're like, you know what? Yeah, I can afford $100 and just try it out and see. I heard, numerous, YouTubers say, that's not good. Oh, they're not connected with Drive Wealth. Look, I got an email. At the end of the day, it didn't really matter, because your risk tolerance is, I can afford $100 because I've been smart with my previous platforms. I listen to the YouTubers that tell me low, medium, high, make that diversity in my particular crypto portfolio. Now I can take $100, $200, I can take $500. I can put it in this. If it works like a COTPS, I am thrilled. I am thanking the person that told me about it. But if it doesn't work, I'm okay with that. Why? Because I understand the risk. All right, you guys need to make a decision on what you want to do. Rashid is only here to provide information, education, and I'm trying to provide you just, some of the crypto experience that I've had, and at this juncture going forward, to help you reduce risk and increase your profits in 2022 and beyond, so we can win again and again. And we're starting right here. All right, peace. See you on the next one. Gotta go.